Hey, how we doing on this Tuesday? Let's talk some Tennessee baseball here. Of course, the talk so far has been the transfer portal. Tennessee had 7 pitchers hit the portal yesterday. I recorded last night, talked about that, talked about what they meant for the program. But more importantly, right now, discuss the impact those transfers had, or ever how you want to put it. To me, right now, what I'm looking more at is summer ball. I counted last night based on going through the roster. I'm including draft departures, I'm including portal departures, and I'm including basically up to this point guys we've not heard hit the portal or I've not gotten rumor of hitting the portal on. I'm counting 17 guys coming back right now. I've tried to track down. I've had some help with that as well. But for the most part, I've been able to find most of these. But I had some give me some other names in the Premier League. Appreciate that as well. But let's get into some Tennessee summer ball stats. Who's standing out there? Some guys making some noise right now. And it's the guys you're building around for next year. Make sure you hit the like, the share. It is free to subscribe. Does not cost a thing for that. All right, let's get into this, what I've been able to find. Now, as of right now, most of the returning guys are playing in the Cape Cod League. I've got 3. Now, I'm looking at returners. Now, I'm not counting transfers. I'll kind of hit them a little bit, too. Of the returners, 3 of them are in the Appalachian League, and 1 is in the California League. That's all I've been able to find so far. I've not found anything for Anson Siebert. I've not found anything for Ryan Combs, Hunter Hyde, Blake Grimmer, or Ben Martin. I've not found anything for those 5. So if anybody does happen to know if they're playing somewhere this summer, please pass it along to me so I can kind of get them updated. But look, standouts here recently that I've seen. And, with a big focal point right now being that Tennessee doesn't have much left in pitchers. So out of Tegan Coons, out of Braden Krenzel, I think you should be really encouraged right now. Coons started this past Saturday. He's playing for Brewster, the Brewster Whitecaps in the Cape Cod League. He went 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts, no walks on the day. That's a pretty dang good outing. And according to the Brewster Whitecaps Twitter page, Coons was pulled at the 4th inning. Camden Wimbish, NC State, come in and replaced him. And they tweeted out and said, talk about making a good first impression. So that's pretty awesome to hear with him. And, based on what I've been told, he's up there to get, say, 20 innings or so this summer. I know he pitches again on the 29th, and I'd have to look at it to find out again on that. There is, of course, the Cape Cod website you can go to, and you can catch the games on that as well. So when pitching is a big focus next year with so many departures via going to be the draft, via the portal, it's very important that we need our main guys coming back ready to go. Braden Krenzel, what I found on him so far, he's playing for Orleans in the Cape Cod League. He's thrown 5 1/3 innings. He's 1-0, 1.69 ERA, 4 walks to 4 strikeouts. So kind of sounds like Braden Krenzel outing, pretty efficient. The one thing with him was the walks some this year. But I'm excited about those 2 guys next year. And to me right now, the way it fits in, I really think that's got to be 2/3 of your weekend rotation right now. Not sure the night, not sure how they go with that. But regardless, that's 2/3 of it for you now. That's the other pitcher I've seen return, Nick Abraham. He's playing in the California League for the Santa Barbara Foresters right now. And these websites don't do the best job updating the stats. I found one that seemed pretty thorough, and I'll talk about it in a minute. The rest of them, they list 7 batters with stats. Won't even list catchers. They just don't do it. You probably got to get a better idea based on Twitter pages. But Abraham for Santa Barbara, 1 inning and 1 strikeout. Faced 3 batters, got the job done on that. He'll be another guy. And I think I've seen somebody mention this, and it makes sense to me. Maybe part of a philosophy shift next year, and it might cost you some midweek games, but getting freshmen in and getting them ready. I think that's something Tennessee's not placed an emphasis on midweek. They threw a lot of guys this year down the stretch. It was basically Michael Sherman, Austin Breedlove, and then maybe Dylan Loy, Franklin, Sneed, somebody like that would come in. But they had really dwindled it down, and it seemed like more on winning. I wouldn't say opposed to development, but some of these freshman guys like a Nick Abraham who started some earlier in the year, all of a sudden we didn't see him. I don't think you're going to have much choice but to throw some guys out and throw them into the fire and see what happens with it. You may have some guys that have to eat innings, and it may not be pretty at times, but still, yeah, that's kind of where you're at now. The best way to develop these guys is to get them out there, in my opinion. Now, looking at it as well, what I've found pitching-wise is Bo Rudy is playing for Yarmouth Dennis. Let me find Brady Frederick was passed along to him. He's playing for Yarmouth as well. That's what I've got as far as Garrett Wright is playing for Yarmouth. I've not seen anything on Anson Siebert, Ben Martin, Ryan Combs along the way. So, it's possible they're not playing. They just stayed back to work out this summer. That's all I've got for pitchers right now. If there's something I'm missing, you're listening to this, please pass it along to me. Hitting-wise, Levi Clark, he is playing for, I think it's pronounced Wareham. Hit a home run this weekend. Now, I've not seen his total stats. Like I said, the Cape Cod pages do not, other than Falmouth, they're not up to date on it. Clark had a home run this weekend. Good to see with him. The one that stood out to me, and these are the most thorough. I wish it was like the Appalachian League stats are good. They're thorough on it. Falmouth, though, Chris Newstrom's playing for them. According to their website, Newstrom's hit 339, 5 home runs, 19 RBIs, has a 1.085 OPS. OPS is the combination of on-base percentage plus slugging percentage. It is the sum of the two. That's pretty impressive numbers. If those are indeed up to date, and again, they seem pretty thorough, but I kind of question because it had one guy on there with 16 home runs. So I don't know that they've been playing enough for a guy to hit 16 home runs right now. I could be wrong on that, though. But if that is indeed the correct numbers, he's having a heck of a start up in the Cape Cod League. Based on everything else I've seen here, I did see Henry Ford's playing for Chatham. Now, his numbers show 207, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 775 OPS, and he is listed as an outfielder for them as well. I mentioned Bo Rudy, Garrett Wright. I mentioned Newstrom. Of interest, Jaron Advincula is playing for Cotuit. Don't see any stats for him. And then there's other guys like Stone Lawless is for, and I may mispronounce some of these, and I apologize if I do, Hyannis. I don't see him listed as played yet. Ariel Antigua was supposed to be playing for Chatham. I don't see him listed on there either. So, again, these websites are a little hard to find. Now, let's shift to the Appalachian League. Brooks Wright, Jackson Walker playing for Bristol, the State Liners. Brooks Wright, according to their website, has hit 290, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, a 920 OPS. Jackson Walker, 167, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, 562 OPS. Dane Morrow is playing for Johnson City. The Doughboys, 262, no home runs, 9 RBIs, 769 OPS. Kingsport, of interest, Tyler Myatt, JUCO Player of the Year coming in, 310, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 1.110 OPS on the season. So there's some balls making noise in the Summer League. Coons made noise. Krenzel's making noise. Clark announced his presence as well. I see Manny Marin is playing for Brewster as well, but I don't see any stats listed for him. And, other than that, guys, I've not seen if DJ Newman's playing or if he's just taking the summer off as well, maybe just working out, getting ready. That's where we're at in summer ball. I'll try to keep this updated along the way. And again, it's kind of hard to just because of the lack of updating the websites, but following the Twitter pages can. And again, if any of you have any info you can pass along as well, that'd be greatly appreciated. This is your base. This is what your team's getting built around. These guys playing this summer. Coons, Krenzel, pitchers, Clark, Newstrom. Jay Abernathy's supposed to be playing as well. I didn't mention him. It was passed along me. He's playing for Cotuit as well. There's no stats listed for him either. But most of your returning guys are playing Cape Cod League here as well. Again, I was kind of curious on Abraham. I know he's from California. I looked in that and found him. And again, I haven't found anything on Blake Graham or Hunter High, Anson Siebert, Ryan Combs, Ben Martin. I highly doubt Siebert's pitching anywhere this summer just due to where he had injury last year. These are your guys, though. It's going to be bright next season. All right, we lose a lot of guys, really kind of unproven in a respect coming back, but guys who kind of got their feet in the mud this year. I think you'll see some big jumps next year. It's going to be an exciting team next year, and of course, Tennessee's still going to be very active in the portal, and they have to be right now. We'll know more about this roster as I continue to say middle of July. If anybody panicked by it now, I wouldn't be because if you look at the contributions of everybody that left, there's really one guy that contributed. Maybe two, I'd say two. Loy and Sherman midweek. Maybe Breedlove to an extent. So maybe three to an extent. But as far as SEC play, one guy contributed. And, that I wish Loy was coming back, but Tennessee will get that replaced. We'll see how that. Tennessee will be fine next year. And really now, going to that 34 roster limit, you have to have 34 quality guys ready to go. And it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And there's still, questions about grandfathered in numbers. Will they have inactives that don't count towards the 34? I'm curious to see how that plays out. But any more info we get along the way as far as transfer portal, keep you updated on that. If there's any football recruiting comes along, try to pass that along. And there is some basketball recruiting. I may try to get something on that later on, recruiting for 2026. You guys have a great rest of your day. This is Frank, the House of Orange. I'll see you when I see you.